Well, it's the third week of January, and one of the biggest issues politically these past couple of days has been gun control. Congressman Steve Stockman even comparing President Obama to Saddam Hussein because of the president's use of children to get his message across. Congressman Stockman believes the president is putting impeachment on the table because he's usurping executive force. But if you impeach the president, who then becomes president?
They keep misquoting him, but let me tell you about the Mitt Romney I know.
City Superstars.
Well, this is basically me telling you about Texas politicians and local ones, like the Webb County Commissioners had their first meeting of 2013. Well, technically they're second, but this is the one where some people voted on getting $100,000 cars, others voting for permission to fire people, but we'll get to that later. Let's get back to gun control. State Representative Steve Toth says he's planning on filing the Firearm Protection Act, which would make any federal law banning semi-automatic weapons or limiting the size of gun magazines unenforceable here in Texas if such ban were passed. Toth believes that we can no longer depend on the federal government and this administration to uphold the Constitution that they no longer believe in. Texas Education Commissioner Michael Williams was asked recently if he supported arming teachers in their classrooms, and his answer to that was that it should be left up to the local school districts, which has me wondering, if your school district wanted to arm teachers, would you be okay with it? On a similar note, Lieutenant Governor Dewhurst says he supports funding for specialized training for teachers that would include preparing for scenarios similar to what happened in Newtown, which also has me wondering, would that include hand-to-hand combat? Because that would definitely be interesting for high school teachers. And would they be able to break up fights? Newly elected State Representative Jason Villalba says he's planning on filing a bill to create a program of on-campus marshals, which I guess probably wouldn't hurt. Do school officers carry guns? Now, as far as the ban on assault weapons, Governor Rick Perry believes the ban would be unconstitutional and that there would be a lawsuit brought up against the Supreme Court. He says, "I believe in the Constitution. I don't think you limit free speech, nor do you limit the Second Amendment." All this coming on the heels of President Obama proposing the most expansive gun control policies in generations and calling these times the epidemic of gun violence in this country. President Obama called on Congress to swiftly pass legislation to ban assault weapons and high-capacity ammunition magazines for civilian use and to require universal background checks for all gun buyers. So why do people think their guns are being taken away? All I see here are stricter background checks, which probably should have been in play a long time ago. And why do you need a magazine that holds 300 rounds?